to primary school music lesson. It's actually an Italian class. Sydney's International Grammar School places language education as one of their highest priorities. By exposing primary school children to a partial immersion program, they are taught both language and culture to enrich the learning experience.
It's a core value at IGS, so we place a lot of importance on it. So it's a quarter of the day is done in the second language. I think the key is to have lots of different activities. We have language lessons here for 80 minutes per day from year 1 to year 6. So in those 80 minutes, you can't rely on just one activity. You have to make it engaging. You have to make it at the appropriate level of the children.
I have extremely fond memories of learning Japanese in primary school. It was something we had to study every day, and I was always looking forward to going to Japanese class, whether it was just because of learning about different cultures or kind of just something different. It broke up the day. It was really engaging. It was fun, and yeah, I've no regrets about learning Japanese. It was one of the most enriching experiences, I think.
Studies have shown that young children are much more receptive to learning a foreign language than adults.
Chi mi vuole dire qualcosa degli eroi o delle persone famose?
Children have a capacity to learn many languages. It's nothing to do with brain size. It's to do with the stimuli and the environment and the moment when they learn. One great thing about children that they've got an advantage over adults, they're not as self-conscious when they're learning. They tend to listen and repeat because they know it gets them this phonic chain. These words in this language get me this, even if I can't segment and work out what the verb and the noun and all that is. I know if I repeat that, I'll get something, sometimes a reward, or I'll get a communication back.
Gli eroi deve essere concentrati.
Gli eroi
Devono.
Bravissimo, devono essere concentrati, sì.
I've taught adult classes and kids, and I know that they don't question anything. They just learn, and they speak without feeling self-conscious. So yes, they pick it up much more easily than adults.
By teaching not only the language, but also the culture, traditions and history attached to it, the students are given a much deeper understanding and education.
It's all about the target country. So if we're talking about, for example, celebrations, it would be celebrations of the target country. If our unit of work is on heroes, we might begin very general, but then we hone in on the heroes or the famous people of the target country. And through that, they learn about different cultural aspects of the language that they're studying.
In terms of just in general study, it just widens your knowledge. Just being a lot more aware of what's happening around you, studying languages, it makes you a lot more aware and in touch with things that are happening. So yeah, it's definitely very useful.
Dr. Browett believes it is essential for language and culture to be taught simultaneously.
It's inseparable because language carries all kinds of cultural codes with it, and you can't function within a culture without being able to communicate. So they kind of go together, and that's why these days, instead of seeing subjects at university that are simply called language 1, 2, 3 and 4, they're now almost universal language and culture 1, 2, 3, 4 and so forth.
By teaching both language and culture in fun and engaging ways, it helps to ensure a much higher retention of the language by the students. Jemima Skelly for Tip of the Tongue magazine.